Kidnapping children is not what great nations do.
This didn't age well at all now, did it? It turns out Jim Carrey, among many other celebrities, were absolutely right. When Jim Carrey stood on the stage at the 2018 Britannia Awards, the atmosphere in the room felt heavy, despite the trophy in his hand. At the time, the mainstream media quickly framed his words as a political jab at border policies. But those watching closely saw something different in his eyes. A man who was no longer playing the Hollywood game. The terrifying reality is that this moment didn't age like a political statement. It aged like a warning. For years, the public was told Jim Carrey had lost it, spiraling into a world of strange paintings and cryptic interviews. But as the Epstein files continue to pour out, revealing a dark web of power and exploitation, it's becoming clear that Jim Carrey, among many others, was right about everything. It is no longer just a conspiracy whispered in the dark corners of the internet. He was trying to tell you. Those close to the situation whispered that they kept threatening him to shut up, using the weight of the industry to crush his spirit. There are even darker theories that the tragedy surrounding his ex-girlfriend wasn't a simple heartbreak, that they very well may have called her to send a message to a man who knew too much and was starting to speak too loudly. Then there is Mel Gibson.
You'll eat yourself alive here.
Over 10 years ago, everybody thought this guy was crazy, a fallen star fueled by bitterness. But listen to what he was actually saying. Hollywood is an institutionalized pedophile ring. It is a den of parasites who feast on the blood of children. Every studio in Hollywood is bought and paid for with the blood of innocent children. At the time, it sounded like the plot of a horror movie. Today, as the list of names on the flight logs and court documents grows, it sounds like a deposition. This cycle of madness follows a pattern, and Kanye West is perhaps the most modern example. Before they tried to label him as entirely unwell to invalidate his voice, he sat in front of a camera and laid it all out.
If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living killing our people, so how they gonna stand up for our people?
Ever since those words left his lips, the industry has worked overtime to tone him down, to pathologize his revelations, and to make sure no one takes the missing people comment seriously. But as the curtain falls and the files are unsealed, we have to wonder, were they losing their minds? Or were they just the only ones brave enough to tell us the truth while the world was still laughing? The truth is finally surfacing, and it's just the beginning. Jay-Z's Instagram is gone. 1 minute, Jay-Z was back on Instagram, quietly reclaiming a digital space he's famously never cared much for. And the next, his account was completely gone, with no warning, no explanation, and nothing left behind except a blunt message that reads, "Sorry, this page isn't available." And while that might sound like a typical Jay-Z move on the surface, the timing of it all is what has people paying close attention. Jay-Z's return to Instagram was short, deliberate, and entirely business-focused, with no personal posts, no captions aimed at fans, and no glimpse into his private life, just promotion for the Netflix Western The Harder They Fall, including a poster drop and a countdown leading up to the film's premiere. Now the silence feels a little louder than usual, because around the same time his account disappeared, a massive release of Epstein-related documents hit the public, with more than 3 million pages, published by the U.S. Department of Justice under a congressional transparency mandate tied to Jeffrey Epstein. Buried within those documents was an unverified FBI hotline intake report from 2019 that mentions Jay-Z by name, immediately igniting speculation across social media platforms. According to the intake report, a woman claimed she was SAD by disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein in Jeffrey Epstein's Florida mansion, while Jay-Z allegedly looked on, according to a chilling document released by the U.S. Department of Justice. The alleged incident happened in 1996 when the victim, whose name was redacted, said she was abducted from her home by a stranger, according to an FBI intake form dated July 2019. She later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into redacted, according to the unsubstantiated allegations. And to be very clear, this is not a criminal charge, not a confirmed accusation, and not proof of wrongdoing. Legal experts have been quick to emphasize that FBI intake reports simply record claims made by members of the public and do not represent verified findings, witness corroboration, or the opening of a formal investigation. Still, the internet didn't wait for context. Within hours of the documents becoming public, speculation exploded, timelines filled with theories, and the fallout quickly expanded beyond Jay-Z himself. Reports began circulating that Beyoncé had lost as many as 10 million Instagram followers as fans reacted to her husband's name appearing in the documents, despite her having no involvement in the claims. At the same time, rumors started spreading that Jay-Z had quietly left the United States, although there has been no official confirmation or public statement supporting that claim. So when Jay-Z's Instagram account disappeared shortly afterward, many people saw it as more than just a coincidence. Was this always part of the plan, with Instagram serving its purpose and nothing more? Or was stepping offline a strategic move to avoid adding fuel to an already growing fire? As of now, there are no charges, no investigation, and no verified connection between Jay-Z and Epstein's crimes. Jay-Z going quiet as Beyoncé takes the social hit has only kept the conversation alive. Whether this silence is intentional or just another classic Hav move, the outcome is the same. The Carters are once again under the internet's microscope. And for longtime observers, this moment feels familiar, because Jay-Z has been caught in public crossfires like this before. You know the name, Jay-Z, billion-dollar empire, music legend, married to Beyoncé. But behind the spotlight and the "I did it my way" swagger, there's another story. A story of tension, rumors, power plays, and silence. Let's start with that May 5th, 2014 moment, Met Gala, after party. The trio, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Solange, step into that infamous elevator at the Standard Hotel in New York. The door closes. What comes next? The sound of chaos. Solange launching at Jay-Z, kicks, slaps, purse flying. Security tries to hold her back. The footage leaks to TMZ and the internet collectively loses its mind. Later, Jay-Z says, "We had one disagreement ever. She's like my sister." But nobody's buying that. The theories fly.